Thanks, Desire. Thanks for letting me know. A little slow this morning. I had to get up early to take Mike to the airport. But yeah. Anyways, I'll start over. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy CPI day. And yeah. So as I was saying, markets usually consolidate, currencies, commodities, indices. They usually consolidate ahead of CPI. That's what the major news event is today, and that's what really the market cares about because we're fighting inflation. And so I'm going to do my analysis today based off of current technicals and see if we can get any early play because CPI could completely change the bias and technicals anyway. So keep in mind there might not be any plays today, maybe until after CPI, but we'll see. So looking at the expected print, everybody's expecting CPI to become hot again. Looks like it's going to be month over month from minus 0.1% to, in addition, 0.5%. Core CPI from 0.3 to 0.4. So everybody's expecting CPI to come in hot again. And how we used to play CPI is if we have a hot CPI, the dollar would get a rally off of that, even though it's the safe haven for inflation's gold. How it's been lately, though, is anything inflation related has actually been selling, the dollar's actually been selling off if we have a hot print. And so going with, I guess, how the market's evolving currently and how consumers are trading, investing this market, I'd expect if we have a hot print, the dollar's probably going to get a nice dipsy daisy to the downside. And then gold can then get a potential rally. Now, that being said, if it does not come in hot, which is unlikely because of the huge gap they're expecting, then expect a nice pop in the dollar. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the technicals of the markets, see if we can find any plays this morning. Taking a look at the Dixie. Taking a look at the Dixie daily chart, we have these descending highs. So ever since we had this sizable pullback here from the peak at 114, we broke structure and we've been creating these lower highs and lower lows the entire way down. And so what you're currently seeing is this trend line respecting lower highs, and we came back up to retest this breakdown here. And so technically speaking, the way it's looking is the dollar is looking pretty bearish after rejecting this pivot point here, and we're now starting to push down back into this potential range here. We're not in yet because this, again, this is where we'd have to break below this 102.7 is where we'd have to break below if we do get back into this range here. But regardless, CPI will break the dollar out of its slumber here, and we'll get some type of nasty dip or a nice rally and continuation. So we'll see. It's going to be tough, but right now I'm leaning more towards sells on the dollar given this double top, this nice rejection of this breakdown here. And we're now back down towards the neckline of this previous rally. So looking at the current chart, if the Dixie remains below, let's say 103.1, then we're looking for sells in the dollar. If the Dixie breaks back above 103.1 towards 102 and we come back towards the high of the day, then we'll probably start rallying towards these previous recent highs. So right now we're just consolidating in this range here. But it looks like we are finding a base potentially with some exhaustion here, and we could start potentially filtering up. So we'll just see. We'll have to see. But if we are looking for this overall bearish continuation, then we'll look for dollar sells towards everything else, right? So we're now at this pretty important area though, where we had some rejection before, but we actually closed below the area that we've rejected many times. So could be where we're just coming up to retest this breakdown and we start pushing back lower towards 102.7. It's kind of what it feels like. So we'll see. Look at the equities. US 500. As much as it pains me to say it, and believe me, it pains me to say it, it's looking pretty bullish, and it's looking like it wants to have a breakout. What we're seeing here is a potential bullish flag on this current rally to then break out back up towards these 4,300 highs. Is what it seems like it wants to do. So it has been putting in these decent higher lows in here. We just had this doji and bullish engulfing. And so we're starting to get a little bit of a bid heading into CPI, given that we have a weak dollar. And this 4150, this 4200, this area is going to be this something to watch to see if we can break through. If we break through, next point of interest is going to be 4,300. But looking at intraday here, yeah, I mean it looks good for longs. Whoops. Now breaking out of these descending highs, this trend line here. Not sure I'd want to be in a position in the market before CPI, but if I can get a retest towards VWAP, a retest towards the high of yesterday around 41.38, then I'd consider longs for the ES for a continuation out of here. But again, I'd have to have a little bit of a cushion in front of CPI if I were willing to hold that. Very similar analysis on the NASDAQ. We completed our retest of this breakout, and we have now a bullish engulfing with a potential continuation here. And so ideally, if we do see this continuation, we'll see around probably 13,600 come into play. So it looks like we might have some more rally action to go in the equities. It's a very similar idea for intraday price action. Pull back towards VWAP, longs, and heading into like maybe 825 territory. If I were to be in any position, I need to have some sizable room and profit if I'm going to hold it. If I'm not in profit, if I'm in at break even or near break even, then I'm just going to bag the position and just reanalyze after CPI. Taking a look at gold. Gold's still stuck, dude. It's still stuck. We are finding some support at this 1853 area. Expected some support here because this is, a pretty significant area to keep an eye on in recent price action. Looking at the lower highs, we are maintaining these, I guess, higher lows in here. Just broke through, retested on the backside. So ideally we see sells, but I'm not too sure we get the sells. We'll just have to see how CPI comes. Because CPI is looking like it's going to be hot. If it comes in hot, you most likely get a nice rally off of gold. So I'm deciding whether I want to play off of expectations and look for gold buys or what. Kind of seems like that because we're seeing a weak dollar, we're seeing a stronger equities, and we're actually seeing gold hold up here. So considering taking a long on gold into CPI, going off expectations to see if I can get a little bit of a cushion there. So with gold sitting right at point of control, sitting right at this previous breakdown point. So if I can get a breakthrough point of control, retest of maybe breakthrough VWAP, maybe a retest of VWAP area, then I'll look for a long. But we're coming into about an hour left in price action until I start bagging my positions. So not sure I'll be taking anything. We'll see. Oil. Oil stuck in this consolidation as well. Kind of seems like it's the motto right now. Is everything seems to be stuck in consolidation. Looking at current price action, though, we are maintaining this nice channel. Daily chart hasn't quite reached the full resistance here, but we are finding some resistance that's at like 80 on the dot here. So maybe we're creating a lower high to head back down. Let's take a look at I guess 4-hour chart, see if we can get any more details on this one. Seems like it's ready to start rolling over here, starting to give up this trend line. So oil, if we can break through 78.60 and backside retest, I'll look for shorts on the way back down towards 73 area. That's going to be the 200 moving average on the monthly chart. So this is probably going to be the only idea I have for oil today. Upside range is not really there. I guess it could be. So if it's about, So idea for long side for oil is if we decided to hold as support here and we break back through these highs around 79.46, I look for a breakthrough, retest, and then longs up towards 82. That could be the long idea for oil. So we have the long and short idea. We'll see what happens. DIX is already starting to roll over again. To no surprise. So taking a look at currencies now that we're looking for a weaker Dixie, pound USD is already breaking out here. Pound USD, the move already happened over London session. Desire, I hope you caught some of this because it gave a fantastic buying opportunity. So pound USD is already rallying out of here with a weaker Dixie, so maintaining these higher lows. Not interested. It's already too far for my liking. And by the time CPI comes, I mean, even if I were looking for a dip buy on a pullback, CPI would be here. Pound yen. Here's the thing with pound yen. If the dollar is weak, the yen's usually stronger. Good, Desire. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So with that being said, I'd expect pound yen to roll over, but then again, you also got to keep in mind, well, what's the pound doing against the dollar, right? Strong. So what's the pound doing against AUD? Strong. So ultimately, you can't just base it off of that one idea. You have to consider what's the pound doing across the market, and pound's strong. So pound yen, not going to trade it today, coming up into this resistance, and we have no buying opportunity here. So seems like it might be a day where I sit on my hands and wait till after CPI. Euro JPY in the range here at the resistance, not interested. AUD JPY. I think longs are nice on this, but I'm too late. Longs would have been nice, like right here. So I'm too late on this. No play here. AUD USD breaking out here potentially for decent longs. Might consider longs on AUD USD. Maybe on a backside retest of the 5-minute here. Get a rally out of here, retest, and then run. So AUD USD I'll keep an eye on for potential longs with a weaker Dixie. New Zealand USD and nasty range, Euro USD could be potentially nice longs as well. If you look at the higher time frames, we're in this channel here, and we just respected the bottom end of the channel, and we're rallying out of here. So we could have we have a decent range for Euro USD. I actually might take a long here now because we retested this breakout, and we're flagging at really, I mean, flagging at a minor resistance here. So Euro USD probably looks a little better to me, that I might take longs now. Yeah, so going to take a long now. I mean, 30-minute close really nice with the rejection wick, bullish candle. So I'd like to see a push out of here now. You have AUD USD breaking out. You have the dollar rolling over at lows here. So I could potentially get a cushion on Euro USD here heading into CPI, which would be great, because if it plays out as expected, then we have a weak Dixie and we can get a hot print, and Euro USD would go up. So we'll see if we can get some kind of cushion. Trade idea is going to look something like this. And I'm just going to leave an open take profit and just watch it heading into, what the reaction is on CPI. But we'll keep an eye on this area here. It's going to be almost a 3-to-1. So trade idea there. USD CAD, yeah, rolling over here daily, pretty weak. If you look at the 1 hour, we had this nice consolidation. We just broke through, retested, starting to roll over here. Don't like the range. USD JPY, nice double top. Sells actually look pretty decent here on USD JPY. Actually look really nice. Very clean range. Take a sell here. Stop above the high a day. Yeah, I mean, this could be a nice 5-to-1. So I'm going to look at USD JPY here as well. I'm going to wait I'm gonna wait on this one. I just don't think USD JPY has the momentum in it to fight through here pre CPI and give me enough room before CPI. So I'm thinking I'm gonna wait on USD JPY on this one. Had a nice double top. It could be nice sells. I wanted the sells like up here, not really down here, because now my stop's gonna be a lot larger than I would have liked, and I'm in for some drawdown probably. So I'm gonna hold off on USD JPY, but I do like the sell idea. Euro GBP, Euro's weak, pound strong, Euro's breaking through. I was looking for longs on this, but never held. And so now we're rolling over. Euro GBP sells could be pretty decent. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything I'm keeping an eye on. Main idea, I guess, until CPI is Euro USD. Bitcoin's kind of hanging out here. Risk on, market's strong. So going to keep an eye on the equities if we can get some type of pullback in this morning. But give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. are back. All right. Let's take a look. See if there's any pre-CPI analyses. Interesting. So the report's including their updated weighings. I gotta log in. All right, give me 1 second. All right. Let's see. And here's the thing with the CPI. Oh, William. What's up, dude? Happy to have you. The thing with the CPI is it's been on a steady decline, but it's not gonna be sustainable that way. It's gonna plateau, or stall and go back up. And we're not gonna get down to our ideal, in my opinion, we're not gonna get down to our ideal 2% target without some major economic collapse or some kind of recession or whatever it might be. They need to fix the housing market. A lot of things need to happen before we get to that 2%. So it's going to go back up. So not only is the consumer price index seen rising in January the most in 3 months by higher gasoline prices, government's report. Let's see, more stable used vehicle prices, a key driver of recent goods and disinflation, may help drive another sizable gain. There's let's see. So this is gonna be interesting, right? If we have a labor market that just refuses to break, and if we now have inflation that's starting to accelerate again, then I think that really increases the likelihood the Fed just keeps going. Now, on that note, the dollar's been moving very heavy off of the expectations of Fed rate hikes. But the thing is lately, the last couple hikes, the dollar's dropped. So that thesis is out the door now, and everybody's back to the safe haven gold. So which is what I was saying is, on that idea, the dollar should then drop off this. Did you see anything about the Russian-Ukraine peace treaty? No, I did not. I mean, I saw it, like, they were talking about it like a couple weeks ago. Is there anything new on it? Did you let me know if you saw anything new on it? I haven't gotten a chance to look at that yet. Let's see if I can glance and find anything. I don't know. Did you see anything on that, William? I'm not finding anything. I don't think there's anything on that right now, dude. Because they were talking about it before, but so. No, I don't know. I haven't, William. So I'm not sure. I don't see it anywhere, so I don't think there's anything out yet regarding that, or there's definitely no resolution to that yet, or decision if that is even a thing, because it must have just been a talk or something. Because if it were actually something that went through, you would be seeing it all over the news feed, and you would see it in the markets. So nothing on that yet. Let's see. New weights. A key part of CPI is how basket of goods. Okay, used cars. Okay, so, we'll see what happens, but clearly we're looking for a hotter print. Dixie's still stuck in this range here. So we're starting to see that consolidation that I was talking about. Gold ran through, came back below, not interested here. How much of a catalyst will that have on Fed next couple moves if it is in play? Well, here's the thing. The Fed understands and knows that we're going to have another increase eventually. We're not going to see a steady continued decline in CPI or inflation. It's not how it works. And I assume you're referring to the hot CPI. Because, I mean, if I don't know anything about the Ukraine stuff, if you're referring to that. But going into that, though, the Fed already said that they're not going to pause the rates. They're not cutting this year. They already said they're not cutting rates this year. And they have to raise rates at least the next couple meetings. So it's not going to change anything in the short term, because it's expected to have hotter inflation now, and they already said they're not cutting; they're going to keep raising. So, but if we do see a continued increase, then later on, where they were planning on potentially pausing, well, maybe they keep hiking. So it won't make. I don't think it'll have much of an effect on the Fed right now. Because they already, everyone's expecting it already to be, they've already pretty much priced in to their rate hikes that it's going to be hot. You think we crash? Crash might be a strong word. Yeah. Honestly, crash, I don't think is a strong word. And here's why I say that. Because with the market we've been in, right? And the bearish market we've been in, and Mike's talked about this day in and day out. We've seen no capitulation yet. Everyone's comparing it to 2008. Everyone's comparing it to 2000. We've seen no capitulation yet. Look at the VIX. VIX will tell you if we've seen capitulation. This capitulation. We haven't seen anything. Volatility's been very steady. And we need that if we're going to go back into a bullish market. So, honestly, crash might not even be a strong word. But do we crash in August? I think we actually probably do earlier than August, in my opinion. I think everything will catch up to us. I think we'll realize, that we're in a recession potentially. So, I don't see a soft landing, which is the term that they've been using. So, I do think we could potentially crash and capitulate come August. I think it's very much in the cards. Dollar's starting to roll over back towards these lows. Euro USD. I like the price action here. We created our lower wick, and we're now pushing up. So let's see if we can break through these wicks here. And then I'll stay in these longs until, then we'll see around 825 where we're at. If I can have somewhat of a cushion and Euro USD sitting somewhere up here, then I'll hold my position. If we're anywhere under this red line here, then I'm probably going to bag it. No, so you're right, William. It's a different market environment, or I guess it's different fundamentals this time. 2000 was the bubble, the dot-com bubble, and then 2008 was the housing crisis, and now it's the epidemic, the pandemic, the COVID crisis. So it's not the same issues, but we're running into a similar scenario where we have the inflation issue, the rate hike issue. We're hiking ourselves into a recession. Do we battle inflation, or do we and push us into a recession, or do we not battle inflation that hard and we don't hit a recession, or do we have a permanently, not permanently, but an entrenched inflation for a long time? So it's not the same issues, but fundamentally we're going about it the same way, if you know what I mean. So it's we're doing it more extreme even than we've done before. So I believe that we're hiking ourselves into a recession. So outcomes are looking to be the same, but yes, you're right. It's not the same. There's not the same issues. But you're right. Like, manufactured recession. The housing is pushing us into a recession potentially. The goods, the entrenched inflation in the goods and services, the wage increase, the wage increase spiral. There's a lot of things that are still hot and heavy right now that are pushing us into a potential recession. Anything could happen. I'm just, that's just my point of view, and I know I'm sure Mike has a very similar point of view as well. But if you look at the market, right? Let's take a look at the market, the S&P back in 2008. And because I'm not sure if I've showed this before, or let's look at the ES. I've showed this before, but I'm not sure if if you were on when I showed it, right? So back in 2008, we had very similar price action, right? We had these lower highs, we had this nice bearish market, yada yada, this double bottom here, and we broke through this trend line and we started rallying higher, right? Then look what happens. Right? Let's look at current price action. Keep this chart in mind. Look at current price action. Sorry. Looks very, very similar, right? These lower highs. This double bottom. Broke through this trend line. So what's to come? What came after we broke through the trend line, right? We had fear and greed. We had FOMO and stuff. We had a little bit of a consolidation. And then we proceeded to dump massively and capitulate. So, they look very, very identical. And so I believe that we're going to see the very similar market situation here, where we start, finding a peak somewhere in this area here, and we just start capitulating and nosediving. Maybe not, but that's just, comparing apples to apples. Similar charts, different issues, but similar outcomes, similar fighting material, capabilities. So we'll see. Euro USD starting to pop out of here, was looking good. Longs are looking good on this one. the faster rate gap, the fall gonna come before August. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Because if you look at the chart, we're almost in the same area we were when we started capitulating in 2008. Fundamentals, inflation is going to start creeping up. People are going to start being nervous again potentially, and then we start seeing, well, okay, all this FOMO and greed is going to now start, kicking you in the ass there, and then it's going to start rolling over. So that's why I think that August is what, March, April, May. So it's 6 months away. That'd be a very well wait till August, but that would be a very long 6 months if we didn't capitulate before then. Excuse me. Johnson still hanging out here. Dixie broke through these lows here and down towards 102. Gold's probably rallying out of here as well. Yeah, that would have been a nice dip buy in gold. I just didn't like that was it puked so hard after that breakout. It's all right. Tis what it is. Might just be in Euro USD because it looks like equities are breaking out as well. So the thing with news, CPI, etc., is when you start seeing price action in such a heavy direction ahead of news event, was CPI leaks? Do people have an idea on something? So typically you see that strong continuation, and I try to get an entry before CPI comes out because it's going to continue. That's how I made $35,000. And I think it was November, December, off the same idea. So about 25 minutes left till CPI print comes out. If this was just a nasty liquidity grab in the Dixie before it starts rallying, that would be something, wouldn't it? That would be something. See how it closes in the next 3.5 minutes. AUD USD still continuing its ascent here, looking better than the other dollar pairs. My concern about the Euro USD long is Euro JPY is looking a little weak here, looking a little heavy. Euro GBP looking really heavy. So Euro USD, you know, it's like Euro's looking pretty weak against everything. Something to keep in mind there. Weyerhaeuser Company. What's the Weyerhaeuser? What do they do? You have calls to hit 35 April 21st. Oh yeah, easy. Easy. Those are really nice calls. Beautiful calls. You have a breakthrough resistance here. We're now finding support there. It should easily push up towards your take profit. I mean, you'll get that in a couple days. You'll get that in a couple days. Should have done a shorter call option. Yeah, very valid. That's a good idea. Yeah. Dixie looks like it just grabbed liquidity. 30 minutes left till CPI. We'll see. I'll probably end up bagging my Euro USD early, but we'll see. I'm not feeling a gamble in the markets today. If you see clearly price action is total different from what economic analysts say about CPI, most are saying that CPI will rising more. That's exactly what I said. I mean, that's what I said. Yeah, but price action's not different, right? Look at the dollar; it's rolling over here. If we're seeing a hot CPI, we're going to see a weaker dollar. Look at gold. Gold's starting to pick up and rally here. If you see a hot CPI, gold will start rallying, right? So, what are you referring to, Desire? I'm not. Maybe I misunderstood what you're saying. Because price action's pretty much in line with what CPI is expected to do. Inflation kills the value of the dollar, so dollar should go down, right? Hourly closed. Dollar looks good. Left a little bit of a wick, so let's see if it fills this wick and continues down. Yep, dollar starting to continue down here. Euro USD trying to push back up. So at this point, I have my stop just, trailed below this hourly low. Because at that point, the hourly starting to push up. I don't want it to leave another rejection wick and start breaking its own low to head back down. So I'm just going to bag it at that point. So leave it there. If CPI comes above 6.2 year over year and 0.4 month on month, yeah. What about it? If it does, what are you asking? What's your question? What's your question, Desire? If it comes above, you're going to see a nasty drop in the dollar. You're going to see a potentially pretty big rise off of gold because inflation's coming in hot. Not sure what your question is. $27 minutes. Think I should have sold my Netflix call, shaking my boots. You should be all right. What are your calls looking like? I think you'll be all right. Now, here's the thing. I think you'll be all right for now. Where's your call price at? Because if the market starts, tanking, then Netflix will go with it. But I do think it has a little bit more upside potential to it. Maybe towards 392 is my guess. I think 392 could be the upside target for Netflix. But definitely coming in above 6.2. Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Most likely. Good idea, William. Desire, the analysts are saying the CPI will be above those numbers, so I'm expecting to see the market drop down. Probably. It's tough to say, right? Because it's tough to say. So theoretically, you're in 460 calls. Shit. That's a stretch. So Desire, theoretically, yes, you'd see the market drop pretty sizably. But like if the dollar starts, pulling back and dropping, it's going to give, it's going to pull a little pressure off of the markets. But theoretically speaking, the market should drop. Yeah, Dixie's showing some rejection here, so we might start just consolidating now. And now that we're 24 minutes away, we'll probably start consolidating in the markets here. And so Euro USD, I'm probably just going to, lose pennies on it. Showing some rejection here. So yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to have any plays in front of CPI. We're getting now too close for me to feel comfortable in any positions. Gold came right back down as well. So yeah, it's looking a little dicey out there. What's going on, Mo? Good to see you, dude. Long time no see. Dude, I am so ready for some hot numbers. So ready. I want to see gold just like soar. See it soar. Yeah, we will. I was thinking about you earlier, actually, Mo, because I was talking about the CPI, and I was talking about like, there's really no way to fix CPI without like recession, fixing the housing market, fixing a lot of things, the wage price spiral. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, if gas prices were higher last month, then yeah, we'll probably see a higher CPI. So, yeah. 20 minutes. Ten years a week, and I'm looking for support around 368 for hourly chart. Yeah, 368 to 366. This whole area here will find support, and then most likely on higher CPI, you'll see a nice rally in rates, and then you'll see a dip in the markets. Euro USD still looks like it might have some potential here. We'll see. Yeah, Mo, I don't think by any means we see a soft landing still. I just think it's all smoke screen before we, hit a recession or something. I was talking about it earlier, this entire move here that you're seeing in the market is just greed and FOMO. And so once people realize that we're still in the shitter, for a lack of better terms, and there's more doom to come, right? Then they're just going to start puking. Bank of America CEO said consumer spending increased in January compared to 2021. Well, that's not surprising. Goldman Sachs said they're in a position to start firing some people. Yeah, exactly. They don't want us to panic yet, but So the number CPI last month 6.5, anticipated CPI now 6.2. Yeah, but they're expecting it. They're expecting. So we've been on a pretty decent pullback here, right? July, August, September, October. We've been pulling back from what 8.7 or 9.1%, and so now we're at 6.5. I don't think we hit 6.2. I think we come in higher than 6.2. I think we hit probably 6.4, 6.5, maybe 6.6. Yeah, I think we come in higher. 15 minutes, probably going to bag my position. Yeah, 6.5, 6.6. I definitely think is in the cards for today. That's what I was thinking as well. I don't think there's a chance we get 6.2. OPEC raises its 2023 global oil demand growth forecast by 100,000 barrels per day to 2.3 million barrels per day. OPEC leaves 2022 global oil demand growth forecast unchanged at 2.5 million barrels per day. There's a concern over the extent of China's economic recovery and its oil demand impact, OPEC says. China's oil demand to rise by 590,000 barrels per day in 2023 after contraction in 2022. Yeah, I'm out of my position. Not messing with that. Too close to CPI. Dollars catching a bid in front of CPI. Oh man, What's the market up to? Just chilling up here. Gonna be a lot of consolidating now. Getting close. Getting close. Guess we'll see what happens, because, I mean, if we get hot inflation, I'd expect gold to go up and the dollar to drop. But if the rates start rallying pretty heavy off of this, then the dollar might catch a little bit of a bid. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to just kind of trade post CPI off of any retracements we get. Could get pretty interesting. Could get interesting. Yeah, you like that? Thanks, William. I put it on just because I like the vibes myself. It kind of just keeps it chill. Gold start. I mean, it's seeming like, you know, so CPI is 10 minutes away. Dixie's trying to catch a little bit of a bid here after breaking through and rejecting these lows. Market's starting to roll over a little bit. Gold's starting to roll over a little bit. So maybe that's what we start getting into CPI. We'll see. Could just be consolidating also. So, you know, don't mind me. Me and my boredom just trying to find things. 10-minute warning. Just consolidating here, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday vibes. CPI. Ideally, what we see is we see dollar drop, we see the equities drop, and then we see gold rally. Yen gapping up, pound gapping up, euro gapping up on the indices. Interesting. Alrighty. What do you guys think? What's everybody think the market's going to do with this hot CPI print? What do you think? Do you think FOMO, greed, FOMO and greed bring the market up? Or do you think what do you think we're bound to go down? What you think? What you think? Okay, pump and dump. Okay. All right, I could see that. I could see that. Five minutes. 5-minute warning. Check your positions. All right, guys. 4 minutes. See what we got going on here. Which one is it? I don't remember. All right, let's see here. S&P's on the left. Dixie's on the right. See what we get. It's going to go off the charts. Bet me, it's going to go off the charts. The market's already starting to pump up here. People are getting, see, greed and FOMO, baby. It's greed and FOMO. Up, back, down. Starting to see the volatility kick in. 40 seconds left. Greed and FOMO. All right, 20 seconds. Let's watch the market puke. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, all right, yep. Market's dumping. Dollars rallying here. Wow. Wow. So let's see if we can sustain this move or if it's going to be a bait and switch. The numbers came in. Let's see what the numbers came in as. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hot as expected. 6.4 year over year. 0.4 core, 0.5 baseline. What's gold doing? Yeah, gold's dumping. Yeah. Well, I guess if the dollar's ripping. Interesting. All right, what do you guys think? So the market completely shrugged it off. I mean, I guess it was baked? I mean, was it baked into the market already? Priced in? I mean, it doesn't really change much. Market's absorb the entire move here. Yeah, that means the market will still buy. Yeah, buy the rip. That's right. That's right. Yep. Buy the rip, baby. So we're seeing the reversal, bait and switch. That's what we're getting, that bait and switch. Yep. Wow. Look at that. Look at that, man. That's incredible. That's incredible. Dixie's starting to dump now. This is what I was expecting here. Dixie's dumping. Rates. Wow. Rates gapped up and then ended up dumping. Gold's starting to rip. So this is now we're starting to get price action that makes sense. Yeah, TLT's ripping. So the rates are starting to dump. Interesting. Interesting. Well, yeah. Seems like now what the market's going to start doing is the dollar's going to continue its drop. The ES will continue its rip. Kind of what I was expecting really heading the market. We're going to get that green FOMO. Green FOMO rip us up towards 4,300. And then maybe we'll start dumping from there. But that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to hop off and start trading this CPI print with USD JPY most likely. But have a safe trading day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I'll be back one tomorrow morning. Have a good rest of your day, guys.